everyone, I welcome you all to this lecture with Zenith Academy Online. I'm Shravika Jamnik and I am your teacher for today. Today we are going to learn the first chapter in Commerce Class 9 ICSE and it's called Business Activities. So let's begin. Meaning of business. Business is an economic activity. Economic activity means anything that has to do with money. Business involves exchange of goods and services with the purpose of earning money. So it basically means that a businessman will sell his services or sell his goods, and this is done with the purpose of earning money. So in exchange of goods and services, he or she will get money. Business is different from other economic activities. These other economic activities are profession and employment. Profession is different than business because profession requires a special skill or some knowledge, specific knowledge, whereas business does not require any previous knowledge. And in an employee has to do whatever the employer says, and the means of earning for both these profession and employment is a fee, whereas business will run on the profits that a businessman gets from his business. These are some definitions. I will read this definition with you. B.O. Wheeler said that business is an institution organized and operated to provide goods and services to society under the incentive of private gain. So I would request you all to pause the video here and read these definitions to get an idea from these definitions. Now let's see the characteristics of business. The first characteristic is sale, transfer, or exchange. A business means that you will be selling something, you will be transferring something, and in exchange you will get monetary benefits. You will get money. It is dealings in goods and services. So this is a very good example. Business means that you can deal in goods or you can deal in services as well. This is an example of all the goods that are all the products that are provided by Tata. You can see Tata Salt, this water, there's Tata Tea. All these come under the category of goods. So because they are dealing with goods, it's a business that is providing goods and getting money in exchange. Whereas there's something known as service as well. This is an example of Tata Consultancy Services. They provide digital and IT services and get money in return of the consultancy services. So hence it is another characteristic that business dealings in goods and services. Regular dealings. So we can take one example for this. If you have a car and you want to sell it, you are selling just one car. But if you are selling just one car, it does not make you a businessman. For becoming a businessman, you need to keep doing this on a regular basis. You need to keep selling lots and lots of cars, and you need to do this on a regular basis. That's what makes you a businessman. Profit motive. In a business, the motive is always profit, because if you don't have a profit, your business is running in a loss, then you don't have any money to earn a living for yourself. That's why in a business, a profit is very, very important. Creation of utilities. So, utilities is what makes goods more useful, and this usefulness is to satisfy human wants. So we can see here, this is very useful. This is a place utility, the transportation of goods. Goods are transported from one place to another. This comes under place utility. This is called time utility. When products are made, they are generally made in bulk, and usually all these products won't sell out instantly when they're produced. there will be some time gap between the production and the selling. And in this time gap, you need to store these goods. So that is what is time utility. You need to store it. So business also creates time utility. Economic activity. Business is naturally an economic activity because it deals a lot with money and exchange of money. Risk. Whenever there is a business, risks are always involved. These risks can be in the form of a natural hazard such as fire, there can be a flood, there can be an earthquake, tsunami, or there can be other risks such as unforeseen circumstances such as the lockdown in this pandemic. And a very important thing for risk management is insurance. Your business should be insured so that you minimize your risk. And it's observed that in case of natural hazards like not natural, in case of hazards that are caused by some negligence or some problem like fire or floods, in these cases you can apply for an insurance, you can get the insurance money. But in unforeseen circumstances such as a lockdown, these may or may not be insured. Generally they are not insured. So let's see, business activities have been divided into two categories. One is industry and the other one is commerce. These are further divided. Industry is further divided into primary, secondary, and tertiary, and so on and so forth. In this video, we are going to learn about the industry side of business activities. Industry. Industry is divided into three categories. First one is primary industry, second one is secondary, and then the third one is called tertiary. Primary is further divided into extractive and genetic industries. Secondary is divided into manufacturing and construction engineering industries. Now let's focus on these and learn these in detail. Primary industry is divided into genetic and extractive industries. First, let's see what a primary industry is. From the word itself, we can make out that primary means the first step. So, what can be the first step? The first step is involved in extraction and multiplication of natural resources. So, the raw materials, whatever is provided for the next steps, like for the secondary industry, they are extracted and multiplied from this industry called primary industry. Now it's further divided into genetic industry. Genetic industry is engaged in reproduction of certain plants and animals. Genetic, it means hereditary, and hereditary means reproduction of certain plants and animals. So in this kind of industries, the profits are gained from sell of from selling plants and animals. Here we can see they are selling plants in a nursery. This is a plant nursery. They're selling plants and flowers, and in exchange for it, they're getting money. And in this case, you can see hens which are uh, giving out eggs. This is again hereditary, and income is being earned these from these living things, plants and chickens. Now, next one is extractive industries. Extraction of useful material from beneath the surface of earth. So these were all the things that can get reproduced, and whereas here the things are more irreplaceable in manner. Once extracted, these materials cannot be replaced. Let's see with an example. Here you can see mining. So we know that iron ore is mined, and once it is mined, it cannot be further given back, because to make these fossil fuels, it takes a lot of years, hundreds and thousands of years, and it requires a lot of pressure from above the ground. That's why once these are used, they cannot be given back. Here we can see fish. When fishing is done, these fishes cannot be put back in the water, and we cannot expect them to come back to life again. Once we have extracted these, they cannot be put back. Now let's move to secondary industries. Secondary industries are also divided into two parts. First one is manufacturing, second one is construction. First, let's see what secondary industries are. They are engaged in conversion of materials provided by primary industries. So, whatever raw material we are getting from primary industries, when these are converted and converted into something useful so that profit can be gained, it is known as a secondary industry. It's divided into manufacturing, which means processing or transformation of raw material. Now, let's see the further bifurcation of manufacturing. First is analytical. In this, the raw material is broken to several useful products. Example of this could be crude oil. Crude oil is extracted from beneath the surface of earth, and when it is gone under fractional distillation, when it is broken down, it is converted into several useful products such as naphtha, diesel, fuel oil, lubricating oil, bitumen. All these come from a single raw material, that is crude oil. So when this is broken down, we get a lot of other byproducts, and this comes under analytical manufacturing secondary industry. Synthetic. In this, two or more materials are mixed to form useful products and then profit is gained. Let's see. Example of this would be concrete. Here, cement, aggregate, sand, and water, all these are combined to form concrete, which is again very useful because all buildings, all construction is nowadays done with the help of concrete. Processing. A material is processed through various stages. Again, let's see an example. Here the material is cotton. When cotton is harvested from a farm, it has to be blended together. Then the trash from the cotton balls has to be picked out. Then lot of processing is to be done, and this entire process, all these processes, blending, carding. Carding means conversion of these cotton balls to a thread-like structure. So all these processes are a part of the processing industry. Assembling. Parts are combined together mechanically or chemically to form a new product. Let's see here chemically combined parts. Here these are just random parts, but when they are assembled together, they will turn into a very useful machine, which will in turn bring us some profit. So assembling industry is the one that will combine all these parts and form a useful product. Construction. When we see construction, automatically we get a picture of a building in our head. So construction is mainly engaged in construction of buildings, basic infrastructure of economic and social development through the process of fabrication. Fabrication means bringing all these together. So it can be of economic as well as social importance. Like a building can be used for commercial use, like they can be just offices in a building, or there can be a residential building, or there can be a wedding hall. Anything can be any sort of buildings. When they are made, they come under construction industry. Products remain fixed at one place. So this can be taken as a drawback of this industry. If we are building a building in Japan, we cannot say the next day that, okay, now I want to bring it back to India. You cannot possibly transfer a building from one place to another. So products remain fixed at one place in construction industry. Now let's move to tertiary industries. Tertiary industries, they are concerned with provision of services to facilitate and assist primary as well as secondary industries. So whatever is required, right from your transportation to your storage of your raw material, your secondary products, or banking, that is getting money, getting things insured, to advertising your products and packaging, everything comes under tertiary industries. It is also called as the service sector because all these industries are serving the primary and secondary industries. They are further divided into small scale and large scale industries. So, based on the capital that we are investing in the industry, or based on the capital that is required to run the industry, it is divided into small scale and large scale. In small scale, less capital intensive techniques are used. Capital means money, so less money intensive techniques are used in small scale, and here a value is given as well. Investment should be less than 1 crore, and then it will be called a small scale industry. In large scale industry, it is more capital intensive, that means it requires more money to run, and the investment value should be greater than 1 crore for it to be called a large scale industry. In tertiary industries are also divided into heavy industries and light industries. Heavy industries can come under your large scale industries because they will require very heavy machineries, very heavy equipments, and light industries may come under small scale because they'll require light usage of material and light raw materials. So now that is about it. Like all your cosmetic jewelry and little things will come in under small scale or light material industries, whereas your big machineries like an aeroplane will come under your heavy industries. Please keep in mind these investment values as well. So with this, we have come to an end to this part of the chapter. Please watch the second part in which I will be further explaining the chapter. If you have any doubts, please don't hesitate to comment in the comment section below. Thank you.